Hi, I'm Peter Orker from Peter Orker Piano Tuition. Perhaps you were kind enough to follow my previous set of videos, the A to Z of piano composers and pianists. Despite COVID, one nice thing did happen to me in December. I was awarded my PhD. I get to be called Doctor. How cool is that? So that's why I'm calling my next video series Dr. Peter's Guide to Classical Music. I've even got a new logo. Check it out here. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So maybe I should be a DJ, or I'm actually going to invent a new thing. I'm going to be a classical music DJ or a CJ. And you'll be able to hear about the stories behind some of the most famous works that have ever been composed. Works that everyone really should know, and you'll be finding out what makes them tick. Today I'm looking at pictures at an exhibition by the Russian composer Mussorgsky. In 1868, Modest Mussorgsky met the artist Victor Hartmann, and they became friends. It appears that Hartmann gave Mussorgsky two of his paintings, which were later depicted in Mussorgsky's music. Hartmann's untimely death in 1873 prompted an exhibition of 400 of his paintings in St. Petersburg, and this was the exhibition that inspired Mussorgsky to write Pictures at an Exhibition. The music, written for solo piano in 1874, depicts 10 paintings, although actually we cannot be absolutely sure which of Hartmann's works they specifically apply to, although we can have a pretty good guess from the titles. Now, although the piano music caught on and is still regularly played by pianists, it is the 1922 orchestral arrangement by the French composer Maurice Ravel. He's the guy who wrote Bolero. That's the version that most people are familiar with, and it's the one which most of this video is going to be looking at a bit more closely. Well, we don't have time to go through all 10 of the paintings, so I'm just going to give you a sample of 3. Pictures at an Exhibition is easily available to watch on YouTube, so after watching this little video, then do have a listen to the rest. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Now, a rather striking feature of the music is a recurring theme called Promenade, which depicts Mussorgsky himself walking around the exhibition looking at the paintings. It's particularly interesting because each time the Promenade theme is played, it's a little different, as if the composer's outlook is changing in response to him viewing the pictures. It's a simple idea, but it works really well. For example, this is how it starts in the piano version. Later on, the main tune is heard in the left hand with chords higher up above it in the right hand, like this. And later still in this version. Let's have a listen now to how Promenade, the first Promenade, is orchestrated by Ravel. Okay, now we've got Mussorgsky walking around that exhibition and looking at the paintings. Let's see what happens in our 3 sample paintings. The first one I've chosen is called Bidlow. Sometimes it's known as the ox cart. Like a lot of great composers, Mussorgsky creates magic from essentially simple material. He really doesn't overcomplicate things here. And the music definitely benefits from this. The idea behind this one is that we see an ox cart appear in the distance and we watch it as it approaches, gets closer, it passes us and then drives off into the distance again, continuing its journey. Now, to give this effect in the music starts off quietly. Gradually it gets louder as the cart passes and then gets quieter again as it recedes into the distance. And it's really constructed from just two main musical ideas. In the bass, we hear an ostinato figure. In other words, an ostinato is a little tune that keeps repeating itself all the way through the music. We can think of this perhaps as being inspired by the wheels on the ox cart going round and round and round. And this ostinato sounds like this. Now, to be fair, this isn't really a strict ostinato because the actual notes change quite a lot over the course of the music. But if you listen carefully, when I play the whole picture in a minute, you'll see what I mean. But because of the repeating rhythm of the ostinato, plodding along, it gives the impression of a strict ostinato. It's very cleverly done. Now, against this background, there is a lumbering tune beginning low in the bass. It sounds like this. Well, that's all you need to know about Bidlow. Listen now to the whole picture. Bidlow, or the ox cart. Our second picture has the rather amusing and quirky title of Ballet of the Unhatched Chickens. Just as the title itself conjures up a whimsical image, and Mussorgsky manages to capture this in the music, you can really hear the scratching and the clucking. This is a good example of what Ravel's orchestration of the piano music brings to the musical colour and the imagery. Okay, and now, as we come to our third and final example, the picture, which also completes the work as a whole, the Great Gate of Kiev. This is much the longest piece, or certainly the longest of the sample pieces that I'm playing you today, and there's a lot of variety in it. It's because it's constructed as something we call a rondo. Think of it like this. If we were to label each musical idea or tune with a letter, A, B, C, D, E, etc., the Great Gate of Kiev reveals a structure that goes A, B, A, B, C, A, D, A. So you can see that the A tune comes back 4 times between the other tunes. The B tune is heard twice, and the C and D tunes once each. And ending with the A tune rounds things off nicely. So clearly the A tune is the first tune we hear, and it's obviously the most important because it happens the most. So listen out for the A tune each time it appears. It sounds like this. While the B tune is sometimes described as a hymn tune. Listen out for that too. And the C tune reminds us of bells and brings back the promenade theme. Maybe Mussorgsky is imagining himself actually in the picture. Have you ever done that when you've been round an exhibition and looked at paintings? I certainly have. The D tune has lots of flourishes and is basically a bridge passage to bring us back to the final hearing of the A tune. Now, before we hear the orchestral version of Great Gate of Kiev, I can't resist showing you a little snippet of the rock version by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's this version which back in the 1970s first got me into Mussorgsky's piano piece and the Ravel orchestral version. This one has lyrics added by the band's bass player Greg Lake. He's better known for singing that iconic Christmas song that comes out every year, I Believe in Father Christmas. I still love this version of Pictures at an Exhibition, but it's very different. Enjoy!
Right, the times and
Okay, it's now time to hear the whole piece in Ravel's orchestration. I've added some labels, A, B, C, D, to help you keep track of the rondo structure. Dr. Peter's prescription is for you to go away and find the whole of the pictures at an exhibition, either the piano version or Ravel's orchestration, or even the Emerson, Lake and Palmer version, and listen to the whole work. You won't be disappointed. It's so colourful, it's so enjoyable, and it's just got so much variety in it. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's Dr. Peter's Guide, and I hope to see you watching the next one, which will be in 2 weeks' time. So until then, take care, and bye for now.